Welcome to Criminality, the podcast where loving reality isn't a crime. Rebekah, how are you doing?
Doing great. That was a nice, tight open. Well done.
Thank you. Second time's a charm. We got through it, and we've nailed this intro now 2 times.
Yeah, it only took us 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. So our anniversary.
And 2 times.
Yeah, our anniversary is our birthday. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it when you're not married to it? And it's also something you do with your friend, and it's a podcast.
I don't know, but it's our 1 year podiversary. That's so dumb.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, hence the balloons. If anybody's watching on YouTube, I got Melissa some virtual balloons.
Thank you. And I got Rebekah a bunch of shirtless men from The Real Housewives of New Jersey in a very creepy video of Louis. So
you shouldn't
we both
have
our own love
really.
languages.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. I wish
You're
you had.
Welcome.
No, but seriously, it's cool that it's been a year. I mean, that flew by.
It did. We've covered some good stuff. It's been really interesting.
Yeah.
And now it's nice because we've had like 25, 26 episodes. So it feels like we're a legit show now.
A legitimate show, totally.
It's like binging, like you can binge. So I would take us more seriously now. So if you haven't told your friends about us, now we've got 26 episodes. We're getting better.
Yeah. And we'll get it together. If like you need us to be something different now that other people are listening, we'll do that.
Tell us what you need. Tell us what you need. We can do it.
It's not too late to pivot.
Absolutely. So as we've learned though in the last year of Criminality, all roads really lead back to the Kardashians.
It's so true.
Right? And this week is really no different. But on our way to the Kardashians, we'll meet wrestlers, 80s rock stars, and pageant queens. Oh
yes.
My. We'll run into a few lawsuits and even a few run-ins with the law. And my clues last time were MTV, marriage, and Miss USA. And that's because this week we are talking about the alluring Shanna Moekler and her multiple appearances on reality shows, including being named to the Celebrity Big Brother house days after I gave my clues.
Whoa, look at you with your finger on the pulse.
I have my finger on the pulse of something, and I don't have a good background for Shanna. So guess what, everyone? You get to watch Louis scream, yell, apologize with half-naked men. That's just what it is on YouTube. We haven't really upped the game there quite yet.
Yeah, give us another year.
Yeah. So, Rebekah, do you have any relationship with Shanna Moekler? Do you know her? Could you pick her up in a lineup? Do you get her confused with Brandi Glanville sometimes? Because that happens to me.
Yeah, she's kind of a cross between Courtney Love and Brandi Glanville, now that you say it. I don't know a lot about her. I definitely know her as Travis Barker's ex.
Right.
Who I know they share kids. I know one of them is named Alabama, and I know it's very contentious between them, but I can't say I've followed her reality career much at all. And if she's the pageant person you're referring to, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. So I have a lot to teach you, Grasshopper, today.
I love it.
Yeah. So Shanna was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. I am from the South. I know no one from the state of Rhode Island. This is the only reason I know it's not fake, to be quite honest with you.
Right. It's so pretty. Rhode Island is just very pretty. Yeah. Very tiny, very pretty.
Oh, nice. So she was born in 1975. Her dad, John, was a dentist, and her mom, Gail, stayed home with her 4 kids and raised them. So Shanna was the youngest of the 4 kids, and she described herself as a tomboy, as does every hot girl in the history of hot girling. That's like their number one thing.
101.
When you grew up, I was such a tomboy.
Kind of a guy's girl, too.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. I've never believed it. But to her credit, she wasn't just a pretty face. She was actually a competitive roller skater for like 12 years or something.
That's cool.
Right? Not like ice skating, but roller skating. She was like, no, it was a thing. According to Shanna, though, she was incredibly awkward and kind of unattractive through middle school and high school. But once she hit puberty at age 17, things really changed for her. As you can imagine, she's like the hottest thing. You know who she reminds me of? She gives me big old school Pamela Anderson energy.
Maybe that's what I meant more than Courtney Love. Yeah, I could totally see that too.
Big blonde hair, very thin eyebrows,
Yeah.
because that's what we did then.
Yeah, that bombshell vibe.
Totally. Yeah. So Shayna really grows out of her shell in that same year that she hit puberty. Isn't that a great way to describe this when she's 17? She signs up for the Miss Teen USA pageant, which you got to have some confidence to be like,
seriously,
I got my boobs. Now let's go on the
natural
big
step.
stage.
Yeah.
And so she actually represented her home state of Rhode Island in that year's pageant, 1992. So she placed 3rd place on the national stage in preliminaries, 6th in interviews, and 5th in swimsuits, which seems great to me. No one's asking me to join, and there's 50 states. I'm going to somehow, get closer to 51. They're going to make a special state. There will be places that recommend an extra state to give me a place on these things. So, Rebekah, Shayna really shined on the stage, and people take notice of her right away. And so the next year, in 1993, she wins the Miss Teen All-Around title. So she's already gotten better from one year to the next. Yeah. So she's doing really well in these pageants, and people are beginning to really take notice of her. So after high school, she moves to Miami, and she pursues a modeling career. By 1995, she's moved to New York to continue her pursuit of modeling, and that's when she's applied to be in the Miss New York pageant.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, shoot for the stars. She really is like something about her face. Like you're very drawn to it. She just, I don't know, maybe it's symmetry. I don't know. It's something. Yeah. She's got something going for her. So as usual, she does really well in the pageant and represents Miss New York in the Miss America pageant. So this has just taken a couple years. So she heads to the Miss America pageant where she was named, Rebekah?
Did she win? Is she Miss America?
No, she was the first runner-up after Miss Texas won Miss America.
Say that. I was literally going to say first runner-up. Yeah, because that's close.
Right. But later that year, Miss America actually becomes Miss Universe. And when that happens, you have to give your crown to the runner-up. So she became Miss America for the remainder of the year, which is kind of like Shane passing the bar after
the standards were lowered. Yeah. Hey, however you can get in there.
Do it, girl. Just do it. So if I'm being honest, Rebekah, the things I know about Shayna were as follows. Number 1, she was Miss America. Number 2, she was married to Travis Barker. And number 3, she had a baby with a boxer. End of list. But I was really wrong. After pageants, Shayna was bitten by the acting bug.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the boxer.
Not the boxer. This was not a Mike Tyson situation for her. Yeah. Back in 1997, she appeared in one of my favorite shows at the time. I don't know why I was watching it. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that show. During this time, she even had a serious boyfriend. She never had a white wedding with this guy, but the couple were pretty serious. They even appeared in one of my all-time favorite movies together, and I'm going to send you a clip.
Love clips.
You some in-flight entertainment. One of our first-class passengers would like to sing you a song inspired by one of our coach passengers. And since we let our first-class passengers do pretty much whatever they want, here he is.
I wanna make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I wanna do.
She's so cute.
She is. And you see who she's giving the airplane microphone to? Billy Idol, right?
Yes. And there's Miss Drew Barrymore. This is so fun.
I love The Wedding Singer. And how do I say this? I used to put Drew Barrymore in my Kelly Ripa, Sarah Jessica Parker thing. I know. I'm not proud of it.
It's okay.
But her TikTok has won me over. Her TikTok.
Oh, so it was recent.
Fun and relatable. Just kind of like hot mess mom. I love that. I live for that. And but I do love The Wedding Singer. I've always loved The Wedding Singer. But yeah, Shayna is in The Wedding Singer with her beau of 2 years, Billy Idol. They dated.
That's insane. I have no idea. I had no idea. And she looks just so cute in that movie.
Adorable.
That's so fun. Good for her.
Okay, let me change that background because I actually do have that one. Like, she looks so cute, right? I love
Oh,
her.
so cute. You know what? I'm also getting Gwen Stefani from the 90s.
Oh,
Now, I know
yeah,
it's because
yeah.
they all had those eyebrows, but it's the blonde and that like really cute heart-shaped face.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I know. So in 1998, though, she also shares the stage with a 90s heartthrob. So she's still acting for 2 years on a series. Do you have any idea what series she could have been on in the 90s? I won't seriously make you guess, but just throw out a name and we'll see if she could have been on
Have
it.
we covered it in any way? It's not 90210.
No one even remembers it exists, and I cannot emphasize that enough.
One Tree Hill, Jack and Jill, or whatever that was. Was it Jack and Jill? Jill and Jack.
Jill and
I
Jack.
don't know. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
All of those are things I've heard of, so no.
Okay. What was it?
I'm going to send you a clip right now, and you can watch the
okay.
intro for this one.
I missed the title.
I
What the
didn't
heck
give you
was
the
that?
title.
What was that?
So you have no idea, but this show was sold. Okay, so Shayna's on there. Mario Lopez is on there. This show was sold as Baywatch on Bikes. And this show was called Pacific Blue. And she was on it for 2 years.
Wow.
And it was on more years than 2.
Had 2 years. Yeah. And Mario Lopez and a lot of other people I didn't know.
I know. Do you want to guess what network that was on?
WB.
No, that's too much credit.
Whatever 9 was. WPIX. I don't know.
No, think of a channel Meghan Markle was on when she was on Suits.
Meghan Markle was on when she was on Suits.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
America. USA.
USA Network?
USA.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know where
Okay,
it's going.
that tracks. That tracks.
That is very much a USA show on in the background on
Yes.
at like 2 p.m. that nobody's really
Yes.
watching. But I watched a couple clips and they're just riding their bikes all over the land. But everyone they like are trying to arrest is also on bikes, which is hilarious that like no one has transportation other than a bike in this. It's really good.
I bet they had fun shooting that. Like, I bet they look back on that time positively.
Oh, yeah. There's no way anybody was like, do that again. I don't believe you whenever you say that.
Yeah, that
Nobody's
looked
doing
like
anything.
they're having fun.
It does feel like a low for Mario Lopez, if I'm being honest, but not for Shayna.
Hey, he's doing okay. He came back
Exactly.
from it, so no harm, no foul.
He did. So shortly after Shayna's breakup, though, with Billy Idol, who, by the way, she said, here's some tea. She said he was a terrible person in the boudoir.
Bedroom.
Am I saying all
Ooh,
this
that
right?
is some tea.
It is. That's where she also reminds me a little of Brandy Glanville because she's kind of unfiltered with stuff. She said that he like kind of knew he was hot stuff and so he did not have to try. So that's all I will say
wow. I bet he loved hearing all that.
I'm
shared about
sure.
him.
But at the end of the day, he's Billy Idol. I don't think he really
Yeah,
cares.
it's fine. I'm not worried about him.
So after this breakup, she meets Olympic boxing superstar Oscar De La Hoya.
Ooh.
You know Oscar De La Hoya, you know the name.
Sure.
Yeah. A big boxing
about it.
family.
No, not at all.
Fun story. Growing up, I guess my dad watched all the sports. And so my mom told my dad, you have to pick one sport to watch, which tells me he was watching a ton. And my dad chose boxing, and boxing's on year round. So it really backfired on her. So my life, it's just watching boxing, as a kid.
That's wild. I can count. I feel like any boxing I've seen on the screen is like a movie or a TV show where they go to a boxing event or it's like in the plot. Like, I don't think I've seen an actual boxing match.
You
I
mean
had to
like
think of the word?
$1 Million Baby? Something like that, Rebekah?
Yeah, but even lower brow than that. But no, like just anytime they go to like a boxing thing, I'm like, oh, that's what that's like. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I like it. Okay. So by the time that Shayna and Oscar have met, Oscar's star is really starting to rise, but he's not quite a household name just yet. So the couple become engaged, though, in October of 1998, more than a year after they get together. And in March of 1999, the two have one child together, a daughter named Atiana de la Hoya. And
Ooh,
I think
that's
she
so
goes
pretty.
by, I know, she's beautiful, beautiful. That will come up later too. So Shayna said things were going okay for the couple, but he was kind of having a hard time being this golden boy of boxing and sports. He came from a really hard childhood and where he just boxed all day. He practiced. And now he's got these sponsorships. He's got this whole different life he wasn't used to. So she felt that she really grounded him and helped give him this image of this family guy and all that sort of thing. So she said she didn't really realize, though, how poorly things were actually going until the Latin Grammys occurred in September of 2000. She told him he invited her to go, and she said she didn't want to go, but she watched the Grammys at home with her daughter. And that's when she saw Oscar de la Hoya on the arm of another woman.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, my gosh.
So terrible. Those two later married, by the way.
So he wanted to get caught. I mean,
and not just that, like he invited her to go. So it's not even like some random thing. It's like, you know about this event and I'm still not bringing you. It's
oh my gosh.
pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah.
So needless to say, their relationship is a donezo, but their drama was not. And that's where we come in, Rebekah. That's where we
Of
always
course,
come in.
that's where we like to slide into those drama DMs.
So 3 months later, Shayna files a $62.5 million palimony suit claiming that she is the one that's behind Oscar's golden boy touch.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I've probably read the word palimony. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud. It just doesn't seem like something that comes up a whole lot, right?
You know, I let it go, but I'm like, oh, I guess that's a thing that everybody knows about. It's so cute. It's like, pal. Like,
Yeah.
like
Give me all your money, pal.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like a couple that's living together, cohabiting, but they're not married. So that's, you can actually
It's not
file
spousal
for that.
support, obviously. Palimony. Okay.
Yeah, kind of interesting. So according to Shayna, she said she was entitled to half of Oscar's fortune that he accumulated over the 31 months they lived together, which at the time was $125 million. So that's like,
wow,
his star didn't just shine, it like broke through the atmosphere. It was just, he was everything and everywhere. So she says in court documents that because of her love and her support of him, he was able to become one of the wealthiest athletes of all time. Wow. I mean, no doubt a support of a good woman will get you far. $125 million. I think there's something you've done there to get there.
Well, she's bold. She's like a mover and a shaker, right? Like
Did you see her on Pacific Blue?
Yeah, those stunts didn't do themselves. But like,
Actually,
she went for
did.
Miss USA, like right after she was feeling herself. Like, she's a go-getter.
Absolutely. She also claims that during that time that the two were together, he wanted her to put her acting and modeling and singing career on hold. Singing career, you say? Oh, yes. I'll get to that shortly.
Oh, okay.
So the couple eventually reach a settlement out of court. Of course, they never give us these numbers. But we do know that prior to this settlement, Oscar countersued Shayna for, this is real petty, locking him outside of his $5 million Bel Air home while she threw a Shayna's Freedom Party.
That's fun.
Yeah, I know. Like, here's my freedom. Lock. Yeah. So she, again, there's big Brandy Glanville vibes. And I would like to see her possibly in some sort of a housewife situation, if I'm being honest. But
yeah. And I wouldn't put that out of the realm of possibility right now, given like the way their profile's been raised, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But I feel like that's a cool retribution for the bringing the woman to the Latin Grammys. It's like, you show up on my turf, I'm having a party with all my friends celebrating my independence.
Yeah, it is definitely a decision that she made that day.
Yeah.
So after this breakup with Oscar, Shayna once again hits the big time. And this time it's with this invitation she gets to appear in Playboy magazine. So according to Shayna, she's approached multiple times through the years, but she doesn't accept until 2001. She said that she even spoke to her beau at the time to see if he thought she should pose, and he agreed. Now, do you know who her beau was in 2001? I mean, the sky's the limit. We've had Billy Idol. We've had Oscar De La Hoya.
So you're implying I should know who it is.
You absolutely know who it is.
Actor or musician?
Actor.
Okay. Like TV or movies?
Here's how I'm going to get you.
Give me a hint.
Teddy Mellencamp's dad is who?
John Cougar.
Mellencamp, yes.
Yeah.
He was once dating/engaged to which actress?
Oh my gosh.
Meg
Ryan.
And she was formerly married to...
Don't tell me. It's going to take me a second.
You got it.
Well, eventually, Dennis Quaid.
And that was her beau at the time.
Dennis Quaid. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Would never have pulled him out of anywhere for her.
Ever. And they dated for about a year.
Also, thanks for getting me through that journey.
Yeah, I thought it would be a fun one.
They dated for a year.
Yeah, so they dated for about a year. So she had previously met Hugh Hefner back when she was Miss USA, and he told her that she was beautiful. And she said, quote, "I took it as a great compliment from a great man," end quote. Okay. So in December of 2001, she is chosen as Playboy of the Month. And thanks to the Wayback Machine, I was able to find the article that was written about her for that time. Yes, I actually read Playboy for the articles.
Just going to say, oh, you had that just for the article?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So remember those claims I said where Oscar didn't want her to pursue a musical career? So the only real interesting tidbit in this whole article was when she spilled that she was in a girl group called Devious. Now, Rebekah, how would you spell Devious if you were a girl group called Devious?
Well, I might put the emphasis on the diva.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that not what you did? Oh, I thought for sure they were going to be like Oh, that would be diva-is.
No. Oh, but just DVS. DVS. Devious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, DVS, like
the letter D.
F, like the designer. Okay.
I
like Diane von Furstenberg,
Okay,
DVF.
sure. Okay.
DVS.
DVS,
Okay,
yes.
so DVS. Yeah, okay.
That's cute. We're there now. Yes. So I scoured the internet, but you would be surprised. You cannot find any clips of Devious. She said they sang Destiny's Child style R&B.
Oh.
I really searched the end of the earth. If anyone finds it, please send it to us. I need this. I just can't even imagine what this would sound like.
Yeah, I believe our listeners will show up. Somebody said that they found I Married a Princess episodes.
What?
Yeah, that they can watch them on IMDb, but I can't. I feel like they might have pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not
going to pay for that.
No. During this time, though, Shanna continues to work with pageants. That's kind of like her whole thing. She really enjoys them. But no longer as a contestant. Now she's going to be a director of various pageants, working most closely with the Miss America pageant. I believe it was the Miss America. It might have been the Miss USA. If I wrote that incorrectly, I am so sorry. But at some point, I got a little confused here.
The same country.
Yeah. Wasn't Miss Canada. I do know that. So in the summer of 2002, fresh off of his very short marriage to a woman named Melissa Kennedy, Travis Barker, drummer for Blink-182 and current nemesis of Scott Disick, and Shanna Moekler meet and fall in love. Rebekah, please tell me Blink-182 is somewhere in your atmosphere.
It is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't make me name a song, but I would know one if I heard it.
Okay.
Don't make me. I get nervous about songs because to me, they're like, well, I could I would know a Green Day song better than I would know a Blink-182 song.
Okay.
You give me one. How about that?
Rock Show, Miss You.
No, I want to hear you give me a bar.
Fell in love with the girl at the Rock Show. That's all.
Okay.
I can do his part and just drum things. Yeah. I'm very, very good. So the two of them meet, Travis and Shanna. They fall in love. Shanna is this beautiful model pageant woman, and Travis is a rock star. It's pretty much a tale as old as time.
Not her first.
Yeah. And they appear to fall in love very fast and very intensely, as indicated on their MTV reality show, Meet the Barkers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. Yeah.
That was
That's
like
why they're
whole
anywhere
thing.
there, I think. Yeah.
Right. And so there was like this whole time where it was like the Osbournes, Jessica and Nick that you were guessing quite a bit last week.
Right.
And
Yes.
different ones. Oh, one thing I said, I'm Nick Lachey, obviously. And you said something like, oh, I didn't know I was doing this with Nick Lachey. I was saying that from Love is Blind. Remember whenever he goes, I'm Nick Lachey, obviously. And I
Yes.
just loved it so
Oh my
much.
gosh, that was so awful.
Can you imagine? I just can't. I would love to call him anything else just to see if he freaks out.
I can't. I mean, they must have been roasting him, letting him do that like time after time.
Absolutely. But he really went with it. So, but during this time on MTV, we had this like, or different channels, really, we had like these like pseudo celebrity couples, and everybody just wanted a piece of it. Everybody was really interested. So these two are really no different. So Rebekah, I'm also going to send you the intro to the show.
Okay.
Travis, he's the ultimate musician. He's a wonderful father
Did you have good baby dreams, huh?
and a hopeless romantic.
Meet Shayna. She's an incredible woman and an awesome mom. She was Miss USA, and she's an amazingly talented actress.
My mother was deaf.
We're getting married.
And we're starting our family,
We may not look like your average couple.
because our love is anything but average.
Really leaning into that like alternative rock star, like we're not normal, we have tattoos.
Absolutely. So if I'm being honest, after a rewatch of the first episode, it feels a lot like history repeating itself. Kind of what you were saying, this whole rock star model thing. We've got Travis and Shayna, Tommy Lee and Pam,
Right.
and Travis now coming back around for round number 2 with Kourtney Kardashian.
Right.
Spoiler alert, that's coming up. So to no one's surprise, Meet the Barkers only last 2 seasons. And that was in part due to Travis's attitude towards being known as a reality star. My, how the turntables have turned for you, Mr. Barker.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, buddy.
Beneath him.
Yeah, but not for long. Not in April. I think the Kardashians' new show on Hulu is coming out. I don't even understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, why are we doing this again? So while being on the show, though, so Shayna has a daughter, Atiana, and the couple end up having 2 kids together, Landon Asher and Alabama Luella. Rebekah, now do you know what Alabama was named after?
The band, the state, the university.
Oh, yeah. I was mostly making fun of people that name their kid after places they conceive them.
I was hoping we were moving past that conversation. So is that her story?
That's not it. I just had a feeling you would guess that.
Not
And
on
I
my,
wanted
A
you to
game.
like,
Sorry.
it's okay. I was like, she's going to do it. No, she's actually named after the character Alabama Whitman from the movie True Romance. I never saw it, but apparently the couple really liked it. And actually, whenever Kourtney and Travis get together, there was something I remember Shayna saying, like, it was gross he did that because that was our favorite movie. There was something True Romance related that he also could have been the engagement. Yeah, there was some kind of like run over there for sure.
I mean, come on.
And he used to have that tattoo of Shayna on his neck. Oh, I don't want to bring attention to my neck. I need some creams. But he had her like face. Let me stretch it while I'm here. Had her face tattooed on his neck.
Severe.
Wasn't the worst. It was a good picture of her. So the first episode is basically them literally waking up after a night of drinking, like drinking, and they're intoxicated. They're throwing up, and they have to go to the Teen Choice Awards. And at the Teen Choice Awards, yeah, they were. It was really weird, and the house looked so different than what you see a celebrity's house looking like now. It looked very normal, really, like the inside furnishings. Like it just didn't seem like a big to do. Like now everything is so aesthetic, and it's just kind of wild to see that it was just like they had like what is oh gosh, I can't aesthetic. What's the poles on the ends of beds called? What is
Canopy, poster for
yeah,
poster
yeah.
bed.
Something like that, like a canopy thing.
Like-
they had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it was
They're
popular
like,
at the time.
Stars are just like us. They get their
Yeah.
furniture out. Like,
I think I probably wanted that more than anything, but it was not available to me. I've got one more tiny clip from the show. And that's because the quality is so terrible on these shows. And it was tough to watch. I didn't really enjoy a rewatch.
Yeah. Did they live in LA? Is that where they lived?
Yeah, they were living in LA. He was literally puking the entire time. They were talking, and they show like flashbacks to their night. And it was like how he is with Courtney is how he is with her. It's very like hot and heavy. I did not pick one of those clips on purpose.
Thank you.
2014 Choice Awards. I'm Paris Hilton.
So we've got Paris and Nicole
Wow.
giving an award out at the Teen Choice Awards. And if you're thinking, wait, Paris Hilton, she's not a part of the story. Or is she, Rebekah? Put a pin in that.
Okay.
So let's fast forward to a few years later, and Shanna and Travis have separated. After watching Meet the Barkers, it didn't seem like so much a matter of if, but more of a matter of when. It was just hot and heavy, but like big emotions. It was a lot.
Hard to sustain.
Totally. So go with me now. It's 2006.
Okay.
Shayna's at a bar. She runs into a woman. Per Shayna's publicist, the two exchange words. And the gentleman that's with this woman pushes Shanna down the stairs, bends her arm back, and pours a drink on her. This is according to Shayna's publicist.
Okay.
Not a fun night out.
No.
So the other woman's rep says that she's having a conversation with her boyfriend when Shanna comes up out of nowhere, is yelling and cursing at her, and then hits the woman in the jaw while continuing to yell at her. So two very different stories we have here. So both parties end up filing police reports against each other. Allegedly, this was all because Shanna heard that Travis, her now ex-husband, was caught kissing this woman. Do we have any idea who this woman was?
Is this Paris Hilton?
This was Paris Hilton. They had a skerfuffle.
Skercuffle. Skercuffle? No.
I don't care what it is. It's a dumb word, but I love
My
it.
mother-in-law says it, and why can I not say it?
I think it's in a kid's book. That's where I didn't.
Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. But a skercuffle would be like if you got in a scuffle with it.
Yes, I like that. It's a hybrid. Yeah.
So that's who got into a skerfuffle,
Weird.
right? It's a weird little, I don't know. Everything in that time kind of all goes together, minus Dennis Quaid, minus Billy Idol, and sort of
Yeah.
minus Oscar de la Hoya.
It does feel like everything goes back to Kim Kardashian and also Paris Hilton, especially in this time. And I feel like we need a reality version game of like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Absolutely. Either pick Paris or Kim, but we can get there within 3 just about every time.
We could pick either, and the game would be essentially the same. Okay, we got to do
That's
that.
what we should do. Yeah. So Travis and Shanna are co-parenting. They continue to have their issues, but all of this really changes on September 19th, 2008, when Travis is in a plane crash that killed 4 people, leaving only himself and DJ AM alive. DJ AM
Oh my gosh.
was one time engaged to Nicole Richie, bringing us 2 degrees to Paris
Full
Hilton.
circle. Yeah, yeah. Wow. I remember this.
Yeah, plane crash, obviously terrible. They're the only 2 survivors. Travis actually suffered burns over 65% of his body and ended up having 17 surgeries or over 17 surgeries over 3 months' time. So this was intense and awful. Yeah. And I think, I want to say with Courtney, he just flew somewhere, but that was the first time he had flown since this plane crash in 2008. I can imagine you would not.
Oh my gosh. And that was like a big thing in their relationship. That was like a goal of hers, was to like help him feel safe to do that. So it was like this big thing. But I don't blame him.
No, not at all. So as you can imagine, though, during this time, this is Shanna's children's father.
Yeah.
And so she goes to kind of put things, put things to the side and just is there to be with him. Mm-hmm. And so during this time, the couple briefly reconcile, and at some point they move back in together, but they're separated. So they get back together, move in together, separate, but still living in the same home.
Okay.
Yeah. So on December 7th, 2015, the police come to their house and arrest both Shanna and Travis after making criminal threats against one another. So this is 7 years after the plane crash. It was a few years. So the claim is that Travis threatens to kill Shanna and Shanna threatens him right back.
Okay.
So, Rebekah, what would have caused this insane, intense fight? Apparently, Travis wanted to do a reality show and include their 2 kids. So I guess Shanna did not want them on there, something like that. But it's wild how much reality TV is a part of all of these people's lives, really, especially
right. And now he's seeking that out when before he was not interested.
Yeah, he wasn't interested, then he was interested, now he's really interested. So in these documents that were filed by Shanna, Travis said, quote, "If I could, I'd put a bullet in your head," end quote, which is about as terrible and threatening as can be.
Yeah.
So that's when she says that she called the cops. And when the cops get there, Travis says that Shanna threatened Travis and she said she'd have her boyfriend beat him up, which feels very differently than putting a bullet in someone's head. That's very scary. And there was a lot more colorful language between the 2 of them. None of that I really want to repeat, but it was pretty awful the way they were talking about each other and him in particular, to be honest. It was pretty gross. But obviously they're no longer together, and that is probably for the best. So Shanna did actually claim at the time that Travis was really suffering from erratic behavior ever since he had that plane crash and while he was weaning off pain medication, which also makes sense. I mean, that's...
Oh my gosh.
That level of trauma, I cannot
I was just
imagine.
gonna say, like when you said, what do you think their fight was over? I'm like, I don't know, PTSD, like could be causing anything. And then like the ups and downs of medication. I'm sure that was erratic behavior.
Right. And then, DJ AM was the one that survived with him. And then he still died, I think 2 years later or something.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ugh,
super sad. At first I wanted to cover this story of Travis Barker, but I really found it to be too sad because of that whole thing. So he's joined on this story.
Okay.
So ultimately, there's no charges actually pressed. The Children and Family Services did get involved, as you can imagine, and things kind of mellowed out. It's always interesting to me whenever you have something like this and nothing really happens. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how. I mean, the police are lucky nothing else happened. Everyone's really lucky nothing else happened because it definitely felt like it could. So as we know, because we love our pop culture, he and Travis and Kourtney Kardashian are engaged, which is something Scott Disick could never do. He never could put a ring on her.
So true.
Yeah. So he and Kourtney are engaged, and he and Shanna have the 2 older kids, and he's also still, although he was her stepdad to Atiana, he's still very much a part of her life. He's always, it's kind of cool. You'll always see pictures with him. She loves him. Oscar De La Hoya thinks he's a good guy. Like it's kind of a whole thing that works for them, I guess.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So most recently, though, Shanna really, the only thing she's really said about Travis is that the kids prefer to stay with him. But basically who wouldn't, because he's like behind a gated house. They have tons of money. Everything is there. Of course they want to stay with their dad, which I get. But the situation does seem a little bit strained with the kids, but they're teenagers and their dad is dating like one of the most popular women in the world. So it's kind of hard to compete with. I can see how things at that age could be really tough. I didn't read an article. I saw an article today from Celebrity Big Brother where I guess people were saying Shanna shouldn't have allowed their 16-year-old daughter to go to the Playboy Mansion. I guess she's let her go to the Playboy Mansion at some point. Oh, yeah. So there's some parenting differences there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about. I mean, I haven't like done a deep dive. I don't even know if I read the articles, but the things that I see feel very much skewed towards Shanna being like perceived as a bad mom, and that the kids are older and speaking out against her. And so all these quotes from Travis are about how the kids want to be with him. And it just makes me really sad.
That whole situation.
Like, I don't know what the story is, but.
No, I agree. And Travis wrote some things in his autobiography that weren't incredibly kind about her. I try to remember there's 2 sides to this, and I know you do too. And he has the bigger microphone really, and people are paying more attention to him. Maybe that'll change with this Celebrity Big Brother thing. Right. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. It's just a sad situation because the kids are growing up.
So
and
sad.
You want them to all mesh to some degree, be able to be with each other, I guess. So back to Shanna. She's really stayed busy since having her kids and starring on her own reality show with Travis. And in 2018, she was named the executive director of the Miss Utah USA organization. Cool. And she's also starred in other reality shows, including Lifetime's Growing Up Supermodel, which, according to Wikipedia, followed the careers of daughters and sons of famous models or actors. The premise of the show was greenlit because many of the current top models of the fashion industry are children of famous people with large social media followings.
What?
AKA, y'all see what the Hadids and that one Jenner kid did. Let's do this.
I was like, I can't think of anyone else but the Hadids, and Jenner.
Yeah.
But supermodel's a generous blanket term, I guess, for any on-air personality.
Absolutely.
Okay, go on.
So Shanna was on there with her daughter, Atiana.
Got it.
Okay. So she also appeared on later seasons of Hollywood Exes. Do you want to guess what station that was on?
VH1.
Good. That was great. Give you no options and you got it. Way to go.
Music and all.
True. And she was also on the 3rd season of Dancing with the Stars, where she made it to which week, Rebekah?
Oh, 4?
Lower?
2?
You got it. Nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, wasn't
So
great.
hard. Yeah.
Oh, I would. That is the one show, that and Survivor. I am not interested. Too much work.
I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars just because
Would you really?
Yeah, I would love to learn the choreography for an amazing dance. Like I like hope I have like the capability in me. Like I feel like I do, but I don't know. So I want to find out on a national stage. What am I thinking?
I've seen myself change a shirt in a mirror, and the lack of coordination I have just in that one detail, the times I've gotten my head stuck in a shirt, I don't think dancing should ever be something I'm allowed to do.
Well, look, I just pulled like a Shanna Moekler. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm primed and ready to be on Dancing with the Stars.
But let me tell you, that's what you need. You need confidence.
Yeah,
you have to have it.
Yeah.
I do not. Oh, I guess I'm basically done now. Okay. So if you feel like you haven't seen Shanna enough, though, with all of the reality shows, Hollywood Exes, seeing her on at the end of Wedding Singer, one of my favorite movies, Dancing with the Stars, you can catch her every week opposite her ex-husband's new fiancés, sisters, ex-husband, on CBS's Celebrity Big Brother. That would be Lamar Odom that she's on there with right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is the story. Whatever. That was the story this week. That's how I'm ending our 1 year. That was the story this week. Whatever.
You know what? Shanna Moekler deserves a story. Like, she's had a real career. It's perfectly centered for our show. And like I told you at the beginning, I had a much bigger idea of who Travis was, even though I can't name a single Blink-182 song. It wasn't my thing.
You tried. You tried.
I tried, and I got Sugar Ray.
And you guessed Sugar Ray. I want that on a shirt. I tried, and I got Sugar Ray.
That's a great shirt. So I like that. I got to know her. I love that she was in The Wedding Singer. I hope things lean her way a little bit more without knowing the full details. It just, the optics of Travis Barker and Courtney upset me. And like they just upset me in the same way that I can't explain Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. Like they're like weird parallel couples that seem to be similar.
Totally.
And I just feel like people like their exes are just kind of like, are you kidding me? Like Brian Austin Green. I don't know. I
always feel bad for Brian Austin Green. I'm always going on his Instagram to see how him and the kids are doing.
Because he's probably just freaking holding down the fort. You know? Just
it's it's a weird dynamic. So weird. Yeah, it's just very different. But there are parallels to me with Shanna and Travis and how intense and hot and all this stuff. And then now with Courtney, and it's like I don't think that level is sustainable. We've both been married for many, many years.
Yeah.
I just the things I've seen on my TV screen with those two, I just don't see happening in year 5, 10, 15. It just doesn't. I could be wrong. So it's exhausting.
Yeah, I will leave it at that. I agree. It doesn't look sustainable, but I am glad to know more about her. And I'm like hopeful for her. I hope she does well.
I really am too.
Yeah.
Like for her to have her own thing, because she even somebody said something like, you're Oscar de la Hoya's, the mother of his child. She's like, I'm my own person. And I actually kind of liked learning that she had a bunch of, like, she's done a lot. She's a star in her own right. She's not just somebody's arm candy. She was on Pacific Blue.
I mean, can people just show a little respect? For her kids, it's like competing with a Kardashian with that world and everything that goes with it. That must just be so hard. Like, I don't even want to think
seems
about
impossible, especially at that age. And if you've looked at their kids' Instagram and stuff, like
I think I did once.
Yeah.
I got curious about Alabama because they were talking about her all the time.
Right. And it very much feels very Kardashian-esque aesthetic. It's you can see it would be very hard to be Shanna. Don't know anything else. She, it could be a really bad situation, but I don't envy her position at all.
No, me either. Wow. All right, well, fingers crossed. We'll root for her in Big Brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless she turns out to be a monster, and then
we
reserve the right to
change our mind.
Yes. Everything we said is not true. Rebekah, I would love to know what it is you're watching on the television this week.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you because we've talked so much about other things we've been watching because we just sometimes can't help it. But I haven't been able to tell you that I'm all in on the... Oh, I'm supposed to make you guess.
Let me... This has been a good one
it's
for
like
you.
our first... It's like my first day in the world, not let's like on our podcast. Like, who am
like
I?
A
what am I
newborn
saying?
giraffe.
Just go. Would you like to guess, or should I
would
just
love
show you?
to guess. I would love to.
I haven't even thought of this. I was so excited for my picture. Okay, Netflix.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's our mutual crush.
Okay.
Money laundering. I mean, here's a gift.
Okay. That's not the same one as me, but I know what we got. I know where we're at.
Tell me where we're at.
Jason Basement. What? Basement wife, Christine, Sister Wives, bring it full circle. Jason Bateman and Ozark.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Do you see this behind me?
I do. Tell me everything and nothing because I'm not caught up.
Okay. I'm going to tell you everything and nothing. For anyone who's living in the Ozarks and hasn't watched Ozark yet, well, it's season 4 of Ozark. Laura Linney, Jason Bateman, Julia Garner, among others. Just this most incredibly dark show that my husband and I both love. It's like one of a handful of shows that's just like our favorite. So when the 4th season came out, we went in like, let's do this. Very slow start, episode 1. We thought, wow, maybe this, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th seasons they can lose their way. And we thought maybe that's what's happening, but we wanted to stick it out. And then it just soared.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you a lot. I just want to say Julia Garner, who plays Ruthie, is so phenomenal. And I'm newly obsessed with her, but not that new because she played Tara Newell from Dirty John.
Really?
Yes, from years ago. So there were all the true docs that came out about it, starring Tara and her mom. But I think Oxygen did a scripted with Connie Britton as Deborah Newell, and Julia Garner played Tara.
I had no idea.
And so seeing her in that and then watching Ozark, I'm like, wow, this girl's really versatile. But right now, to me, she's only Ruthie. But then she's about to be Anna Delvey in Inventing Anna, which is about that fake German heiress who went to prison. And so she's going to be someone totally different. And then she was just on Watch What Happens Live last night, I think, with Whitney.
Yeah.
And she's just so delightful. And I'm just like, this girl is such a star. I can't even handle it. But her performance this season is just beyond.
Oh, nice.
She's with Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. It's hard to shine and be as great and grounded as them. And she just is. I mean, she's won the Emmy. Anyway, I can't say enough good things, but the season's amazing. It's really, really good.
Yeah, she's
so messed up.
From episode 1,
So
she was
good.
a total standout. you knew who she was. I couldn't pick out anybody but Laura Linney, Jason Bateman, and I knew who she was.
Right.
She's incredible.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So good. So we're really enjoying it.
Oh, nice. How many is the whole season dropped, right?
We thought we were done, but my husband just said there's one more. So I think we were like, I don't know how we missed one. So I think there's one more for us. But yeah, I think it's all out. So if anybody's ready to binge, it's there and it's so good.
Nice. Okay.
What did you think I was going to say? Because
I thought you were going to say mine. Are you ready for mine?
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were going to do it. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Let's see. Netflix.
Okay.
Murder.
Uh-huh.
Best friends with Jason Bateman. Will Arnett.
So Will Arnett, and it's Murderville.
Murderville.
And tell me everything that you can.
Okay. I'm going very slowly because my daughter wants to watch it with me. And
cute.
it's killing me because some nights she's like, I don't really want to watch it. So I've watched a couple on my own. I will feign surprise as necessary.
I've done that.
Right? I mean, you have to. Like, who are you to not
what do they have,
keep
homework?
up with me? Yeah. You have a life? I'm sorry. Don't know what that's like. Truly, I don't. So Murderville is a super fun show on Netflix. It is a murder mystery. So it's kind of like a murder dinner mystery theater. Will Arnett plays Tony Seattle, and he's like the constant in every episode. And a celebrity guest star comes in. So Will Arnett, Tony Seattle, he is a homicide detective. So he's getting an assistant. So in every episode, he gets a new assistant. Conan O'Brien's on there. Kumail is on there. Sharon Stone. What was the crazy one? Marshawn Lynch. I mean, just such an eclectic cast. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So they come on and they're totally improvised. They're not given any information. Everybody else, knows the plot, knows everything. So they're interviewing witnesses. They're talking to different people. They go to the crime scene. They're taking questions down to ask people. And at the end, they have 3 suspects and they have to guess who is the killer and why they're the killer.
Okay.
Absolutely delightful. And to see them break, and I've even seen Will Arnett break. Everybody on the show has broken at some point. It's like watching this hilarious, I don't know, it's just so funny, so different than anything else. But to watch these, Will Arnett will be like, all right, I'm going to have you go interview this person. I'm going to be in your ear, so just say everything I say. And so you watch the celebrity interviewing the person and saying, it's just absolutely delightful. I wanted to like it so much, and I was so worried it would suck, and it doesn't. It's great. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Definitely something to watch.
Oh, it's like on my short list. So wait, who's in on it and who's not? Can you clarify?
Everyone, Will Arnett, and the entire cast is in on it. The only person that has no information is the celebrity that comes on.
Okay. So they're genuinely trying to solve. Do they have lines?
So Will Arnett and everybody does, to a degree, but the person can ask them a question about it and they have to go off script a little, but they have their parts. So they give kind of clues throughout. Like in the first one, a lady says something about, and my boyfriend brings home a pet and I'm allergic, and that ends up coming up later. Like, could be this person because, whatever. So it's like all these little tiny details, and they're literally just writing it down in their little book to keep track of all their clues.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like a live action comedy Clue.
Absolutely. It is. And Will Arnett is so funny. I mean, one of the funniest people ever, I think.
He really is.
He's magical in this. And the one with him and Conan, like my daughter and I were like laughing so hard, just like tears coming down my face. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so definitely check that one out.
I probably will watch the whole. Did they all drop?
Yep, I think there's 6 episodes.
I'll probably watch them all this weekend. That's super fun. Good rec.
Yeah.
Good TV week.
I know, great one. Coming out of my Darcy and Stacy and moving into my Murderville, things are going well over here.
You needed a cleansing palette. Yeah. Well, I guess next time I'll tell you a story.
Please. Yes, that sounds great.
I will give you clues if you would like to start thinking about what it might be.
Writing it down in my notebook. Go ahead.
Okay. My first clue is vanilla.
Vanilla?
My second clue is real estate. My third clue is mountain lion.
Vanilla, Real estate and mountain lion. Are you sure about that, Rebekah? That's a lot of. All right, I'm going to think about it.
I'm, as we've learned tonight, like a year in, but again, it's my first day on the earth. So this might not make sense when we come back to do the story. So nobody think too hard about this one.
I like that. That's a way to sell it. Don't think too hard about it. I don't know if it'll hold up. That's awesome. I'm excited. That'll be great in 2 weeks, and it'll already be the 1 year of the show. Kanye West will have probably Kanye'd a little bit more on Instagram. Who knows what's going to happen in Salt Lake City?
Eye on that one.
Yeah.
Yep. That too. Season finale's coming up. So many things will have happened.
I know. And there will always be more TV and more reality stars making terrible decisions that we can cover. So we'll never run out. Rebekah, thank you so much for joining me. Let's do this again in 2 weeks. But Rebekah, before we go, you have a new series coming out. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm so excited. On my other podcast, Dialogue, I've teamed up with Javier, who is a friend of this show, of Moms and Murder, of Dialogue, who also did our Criminality logo, a man of many talents. And we're doing a series together. We collaborated called The Business of Cults. So it's 3 episodes. I guess by the time this comes out, 1 will already have dropped, and then there's 2 more after that. But we're exploring we figured out this analogy of like, how do businesses adopt practices and tactics of cults, and how do cults do the same thing? And we got into it and we investigated, and we're talking to experts. We have interviews. We go on the field. We go visit cults. It's crazy. It's great. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I got to hear the first episode, and it's awesome, and it's so fun, and I loved like the little trivia in there. I could definitely hear the Rebekah, and you know, I can hear both of your styles in there, and I love it. I love both your shows, and it was just awesome. Everyone should definitely check it out. Yeah, for sure.
It's not super dark despite it being culty.
No, really a fun listen. Yeah, if you like this show, you'll love that. I think it's great.
Yeah, so check that out. And on Tuesdays, you can catch Melissa with Moms and Murder.
And Wednesdays, you can catch this new series on Dialogue, as well as just Dialogue. Check out
Absolutely.
Dialogue. Have a dialogue.
Killer conversation. Yeah, trialogue. And follow us if you aren't already. We're very active on Twitter and Instagram. I miss messages on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I get comments and messages there much later than you leave them. Yeah. So apologies. It's Facebook. It's not me. I do check things often, but we are at Criminality Show. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also Criminality Show. You can watch our episodes.
People are getting more active over there, which is fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And also, if you leave a review, we see that right away. Well, I think like 24 hours, but still, I check every week, and it always feels nice to see new ones.
Yes, we love those, and they brighten our day. So keep them coming, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great 2 weeks.
Bye.